I think you should hear me now. You don't see me, but you hear me. I have a new button that mutes and unmutes my microphone, and in a moment I have a button that switches to the camera that I'm in. And this song ends in about 14 seconds. 13, 12, 11. Oh, I'm counting way too slow. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and you're on. Do you see me? Do you hear me? Is it Monday? No, Tuesday? I don't know what day it is. I do. It's Tuesday. Welcome to the coding train. I feel like I'm speaking very loud and people in the hallway are going to listen and hear me, and I feel embarrassed. So this is unusual that I'm here on a Tuesday. I missed Friday. I'm having a hard time, if I'm being totally honest. Here's the good news. I've set up, I've worked very hard with a lot of people's help. I can barely take any credit for this, but I have a new studio that I am live broadcasting from. And soon I'm hoping to make this studio available for other people, in particular to the NYU community, because this is a room that's at NYU, where I broadcast my other separate thing, independent thing, the coding train. It's very complicated. So the studio is going well. I have new buttons. I can mute my microphone. Watch this. I have this button that makes my laptop disappear. But look, isn't that weird? Look at that. That is crazy. But so if I need to like type in a secret password, look at that. Okay, and then I can make myself disappear. There we go. Now if I just need to show you the screen, there we go. I feel like the focus might be off a little bit. I'm going to get someone to come help me with tuning the cameras a bit, focus, white balance, that sort of thing. I know also these lights are reflecting in my glasses. I turned them a little bit, so maybe that's a little bit better. I don't know. So things are good. This is what I was saying. Things are good in that the studio seems to be working, all that sort of stuff. But I'm having trouble getting sort of a regular schedule going. So today was like a target of opportunity. I have around till 11:30, a little bit past 11:30 free. So I thought I would try to do a live stream. I missed last week, so I'm going to try to do 2 this week. My goal is once a week. But one of the reasons why I've actually had a little bit of trouble live streaming, finding the time to live stream, and this may fill you with joy or it might disappoint you, I have no idea, but I have a new video that hopefully will be out later this week that I did a coding challenge in that was not from this studio, and it's in fact from a different secret location that I will not say anything more about. But when the video comes out, you will see this new secret location. I don't have the capability of live streaming from there, so it was recorded and then edited, but I hope to be doing this new style of video in addition to the live stream. So not replacing, but in addition, and we'll see how that goes. So I look forward to when that comes out later this week. I know I'm being very vague about it. I look forward to hearing your feedback. I will provide a sneak preview to this video in our Coding Train member and patron Slack group. So if you're thinking about wanting to join and you want to see a video like 24 hours earlier than somebody else, I don't know why that's a thing, now would be the time to do so. I'm also planning to, I'm looking a little on the bright side, says Alka, but I'm looking sharp, thank you. See, the problem is when I look at the chat, I lose my train of thought. Oh, it's so sad. Life is so sad. I will have some new announcements too about the rewards program for Coding Train members. So I'm revamping that. I've got some new ideas that are kicking around. Some new stuff will be launching. So hopefully you'll hear about that later this week or next week. And just on cue, we have a new member, Aren B. So welcome, Aren B. Now, oh no, I haven't implemented this yet. Soon, there's some new tools in the YouTube membership thing. I shouldn't go on too long about this because most of you are just here watching and you don't want to hear me talk about the membership stuff. But once you join, there should be information about how to get your Slack invite and all that sort of stuff. It might not have shown up for you, but we're fixing up that stuff, and hopefully by the end of this week, that will be in better shape. Okay. So let me just first, before I go off into my rambling nonsense, My goal for today is to do 2 tutorials on 2 functions. Oh, 1 tutorial on each function. There's 2 functions, 1 tutorial for each. That makes 2 in the ml5.js library. If you're not familiar with ml5.js, now's a good time for me to open up my web browser and tell you that ml5.js is a friendly machine learning library for the web. It is a library that is built on top of TensorFlow.js. It is one that I work on with a lot of different collaborators here at NYU and throughout the greater open source community. And so I have a playlist going of video tutorials. There's some really exciting, what I find to be incredibly exciting new features that are in development in ML5. They're not part of the release yet. If I can get my act together later this week, I'll do a second live stream with those new features. But I wanted to fill in some gaps about a couple models that are here in ML5 that I have not touched on, in particular uNet and Body Pix. And both of those are examples of image segmentation. So, oh, hi, Coding Garden with CJ. I got another new member. This is great. I love this member thing. It makes me so happy. I'm going to get some lights that blink or something when somebody joins. That'll be fun. Sharik Shaikh, thank you so much. When you first join, you get a little this dot icon. Isn't that cool? I mean, what is the world? What is this world? Is it okay that I'm buying into this, that you like sign up and you for this membership thing and you get an emoji icon? Okay. Whoa. Oh, the website's starting to look different already. We're doing some new stuff with the website. I'm super excited about it. But so that's the goal. That's really my only goal for today. I want to show community contributions. I want to do 2 tutorials. I want to thank the sponsor of the Coding Train. Watch this. I even have a button on my not a sponsor, Elgato Stream Deck, that will make this come up. So thank you. I have this live stream is once again sponsored. I took a break from that for a little bit while I was figuring things out, but I think I'm settled. So thank you to brilliant.org. If you're interested in finding out more about Brilliant. Is that right? Is it the, hopefully I opened up the correct banner. I can't remember if it's the or just Coding Train. Hold on. I might have to fix this. This is welcome to my incompetency. Hold on, I know how to check this. Just talk amongst yourself for a second. Oh, Can, new member. This is supposed to be a coding live stream, not just a thank the new members live stream. Where do I go? Ah, boy, this is very hard to use this computer over here. It's a PC. Can anybody see the description of this video? I can't see it. Oh wait, I know where to look. I definitely have it correct in the description. That's where I have to look, and I'll swap it out. Oh, here's the live stream. Oh, it's me. Oh yeah, that was a mistake. Let me fix that banner. Hold on. Live. Exciting. Oh, I thought I was being so good and I was going to have no issues. Let's see. Oh, I don't have it. Oh, I'm the worst. All right, I'll. Okay, hold on, I have an idea. Oh, things were going so well. All right, well, I will take a break. I'll take a break and fix that later. All right. Back to the Rabbit's Code. So if you're interested in learning more about Brilliant, go to brilliant.org/codingtrain. No the. I mean, the is part of the coding train, but this particular URL is just /codingtrain. Womp womp. Womp womp. Okay. Let me, okay, I'm gonna, the next segment I wanna do is show you community contributions, but I have something else I have to show you first. It's getting very warm in here. I'm definitely gonna have to send an email about the air. I can feel myself palpitating. New member again, this is crazy. Hello, Jonathan Barbeau. This is nuts. I've never had so many new members all at once. So I'm about to change to a different camera view. Here we go, I'm gonna press this button. Go over here now. This camera is set with a lot of automatic settings, so I think it's gonna start to like brighten up because it's like auto white balancing. And it also has autofocus. Hello, but I am very excited to show you something. This is a smart surface. It's magnetic, so I can hang things up here, which I'm very excited about. That should open up a lot of possibilities. And this is a sheet of a dry erase sheet. So I can now, right here, and once again, I have my ability to diagram. I don't know how visible that is for you, and certainly as I come closer, it's gonna go out of focus. So I probably should focus the camera specifically just on the wall and tune the white balance and all that stuff. But at least for now, I'm gonna have this green cloth. At least for now, I can use this as a whiteboard. So that's what I'll be doing today. You might remember last week, it's over here. You can't really see it. I guess I could pull it in here. This was my whiteboard from last week, which still has all the stuff that I listed on it, but it's just over here in the corner right now. The thing that's great about this is as far as I can tell, it's matte and it's not really reflecting the lights too much. So this should work better than what I had before. All right, so that's the other new thing. And then I come over here and I press this button, and then I am back over here. Okay. Yeah, people are asking, when was the last time there was a live stream with Simon absent? You would think something must be wrong if Simon's not here. Oh, and I don't have the Slack channel open. Let me get that open. Here we go. Oh my God, too many things. How do I do this? There we go. Very faint. Okay, separate. All right, so we'll see how this goes today. Each time I live stream, I make a small incremental improvement. I found this mug in the kitchen, by the way, and I love it. I think this is a Scrabble mug. It's got an N with a 1, and then all the other letter distributions back here. Okay. Now, if you recall, one of the things that happens on the coding train is I make a coding example, like a coding challenge. And last week, previously on the coding train, I programmed a Ukulele Tuner. Now, I should mention, and many of you rightly pointed this out, and I don't know if any of you who are actually watching this live, but the random people who showed up in the one video that I made, many rightly pointed out that this is not a particularly accurate or efficient way to make a ukulele tuner or to accurately estimate pitch based on audio input. And there's certainly like highly specific mathematical ways of doing that related to FFT algorithms and sound analysis. More, what I was attempting to demonstrate was a particular machine learning pitch detection model that happens to be in ML5, so it was a nice opportunity to use it to create this tuner. So if I click here onto the challenge, we can see the videos here, and I'm going to just quickly run mine, see if it still works. It's not very promising. Oh, I know what the issue is. Oh, this is you know what? This is a good thing to bring up. So why is this not working? I ask you, the viewing audience. And then you will hear this question about 30 seconds from now, and I won't be able to wait till you try to suggest an answer. So the reason why this is not working is Chrome, for good reason, I would say, but I think this is a debatable point, but will not begin any audio source, any playing of audio or recording of audio, and that's probably even more important in terms of privacy, without a user interaction first. So in other words, we want the Chrome, I suppose the reasoning is to protect against a website that might surreptitiously record your audio. You can imagine how problematic that could be. For me to actually have programmed this Ukulele Tuner so that it would work, I would need a button like Start Listening or something, which I didn't include because if I just go to the actual editor view, there is a user interaction that happens on this page, me pressing this Run button, and now it works. So while I'm in the editor view, it happens to work, but when I'm not, it doesn't. So I should be able to tune this ukulele. Okay, so this was the project I made. I would say the big issues with this, the things that I don't like about it, are mostly all have to do with user interaction and visual design. And I would say these are not my strengths. I don't know what my strengths are, but they're certainly not that. And so what I enjoy doing with these coding challenges is making the sort of like technical demonstration of the idea and asking the viewing audience to make their own version of it, maybe with a creative twist or being more thoughtful about the interaction design. Lots of possibilities there. So I'm going to close my version out. And I'm going to go now to this page, and I'm going to show you, oh my, so many of these came in. Okay, well, admittedly, three of them are from Simon. But there's a lot of these contributions. So I would like to spend more time in my live streams sharing work that people are making from the audience and from elsewhere in the world. You know, I really want to feature a lot of different kinds of people who are doing stuff with code. I'm going to take a moment to do that right now. So I'm just going to click through these in order, and we'll sort of see how they work and give my commentary on them. What could go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? So let's try this one by Luciano Tonet. Allow. I don't need to translate the page. Okay. So let's see here. I think we're going to run into this issue. And we can look to see, yeah, the audio. So this is what I'm talking about. User gesture needed to start audio context. Please click. So I don't know how to force this to work, like if I can click fast enough. There we go. So I got lucky. So I just clicked a bunch of times. So now let's try this. So I like this. One thing I like about this is it's closer to what you might typically see with a tuner, where there's kind of a dial. And the dial is, when it's centered, is at the right frequency. I might say that this is jumping around a lot. A lot of that has to do with the pitch detection model and the fact that I'm speaking and there's noise in this room. But some type of interpolation, some other visual indicator. Right now, I think this was problematic with mine, is just the like on or off quality of is it tuned or not. You want to be able to see, am I getting closer or further, I think could help here. But I like this idea of having it be more dial-like. Okay, let's try this one by Mind Bill. And I think I'm just going to click into the editor. I love this. I'm like filling up a circle. Let's try changing the note and see what happens. You can see how the circle's getting smaller. Again, we've got a lot of noise and this sort of green or red. No interpolation there, which I think could potentially help. I like that there's this option of changing it to a guitar. That is cool. So the notes are different, what it's looking for based on the guitar. Sometimes, CJ writes, sometimes having the dev tools open before the page loads allows the mic to work without interaction. Oh, and I see Simon Tiger is typing. So I think Simon has made it to the live stream, everybody. Do not worry. Everything's okay in the world. Okay. Next, we have the Ukulele Tuner with a pitch trail by Originalang. Let's try this one. Oh, whoa. Oh, I love this. It's almost like those, Guitar Hero style games where the notes are coming at you and you have to time the interaction. There's this, and I love the idea that I could create a picture from playing music here. In a way, I wonder if there's something to this beyond tuning, which is a way of visualizing music and sound. Wonderful idea here. Ukulele Tuner, same model, new design by David Snyder. Whoa, oh, look at this. Now this is great. Embedding the tone generator is a very smart idea. And then here we've really got a nice dial going. Let's play. So let's move this around. So something seems a little off with the position of the dial. Again, this is not the perfect, way of doing pitch detection. But this now we're really starting to see something that has a very, traditional dial-like design. I like that there's a little indicator of what the mic is doing. Somehow this worked right out of the box. I wonder if why? If there is some kind of like user interaction embedded that I don't realize that I've done here. But this is great to see. What if I play a different note? Yeah, it's auto-detecting the note, which is great. Great job. Thank you, David. And now, whoops, we have 3 submissions from Simon. Let's look at them. Tuning all strings at once? What? How is that possible? Let's see if the dev, yeah, so you'd think the DevTools opening would help, but I'm just going to go to here, and I'm going to do this. I like this. So let's try tuning a little bit. I like the yellow, and I like the sort of like yellow color as a kind of warning sign. I'm almost there. That I think works pretty well. I'm having trouble getting it. My ear isn't so great. Wonderful. I like this of having all of them on one page here. That's a nice design idea. Click to tune the next string. So I think these are like different interaction design ideas, right? Where mine is just auto-detects which string. Another possibility is showing all of the strings. And here's one where it's actually giving me instructions. So this is nice. It's like a tutorial walkthrough, which I think is always helpful to the user. So G is this one. And then I suppose if I click, it's telling me to do the C string. So I like this as a design idea as well. And then random number generator. This, I don't know what this is. Let's see. All right, I'm fascinated by this. What is going on here, Simon? Temp error. Pitch, got pitch. Is it generating a random number based on the audio that's coming in? Oh, there's 4 submissions? Yeah. Violet writes, I feel like this kind of project would be much easier in Max MSP. Yeah, so P5.js, the browser, is not necessarily the optimal context for doing, for creating this kind of sound processing application. Certainly, other programming environments are, geared entirely around working with audio. So I think that's a good point. Okay, so I don't know. Simon, I'd love to hear more about this random number generator. 1, 2, 3. I only see 3. According to Simon, there are 4. Oh, wait, original Ukulele Tuner. I somehow missed that one. Okay, so this is just a version of it that's much like mine with a slightly different interface. Okay, Great. So thank you, everyone, for your Ukulele Tuner submissions. I really enjoyed those. Next segment. I'm going to look at some more community contributions. So let me go to, you know me, and I'm obsessed with this idea of spinning a wheel. So let me go to github.com/codingtrain/website, and we'll see. Viewer David, has created a wheel that actually will randomly pick a viewer contribution to feature. So this is a little trial run here of this idea. Maybe we're going to work on this more. So I think this is, I actually don't know, but I think this is pulling from a spreadsheet of user. I don't like the word user. You know what the word is? And this is not my idea. I'm sort of pulling this from a talk or a presentation that Dan Pfeiffer, who is a wonderful programmer and activist and person on the internet. People. They're people. The people. Not users. They're not users to manipulate and make them use your stuff. They're just people. So this is the wheel that it's numbers. So I've reduced people to numbers, which is maybe a little bit reductive. Is that the word? But these are all tied to a particular viewer contribution. And each time it's going to pick 10 random ones. And once it picks 10 random ones, I can now spin the wheel. And it might be nice to see what the people's names are. I can also do my little drum roll here. So I don't know what this one is. Number 4. Who is number 4? Passengers! Thank you, CJ. Passengers on the train. You know, the train thing was just like, I needed a name for this channel within like 24 hours. It's like somebody suggested Coding Train. I was like, I like that. But I don't know that the idea of the train theme has really come all from, for me, really, this is really a channel about coding and rainbows, if I'm being perfectly honest. Just want to put that out there. Just for a minute, want to put that out there. Okay, back now to this. So I believe if my mug is blocking this, but I believe now if I click this button, remove and view selected, it's going to take me to this. So we picked, here we go. We picked item number 4. The challenge this one is based on is Perlin noise loops, and this was contributed by Maxim Monikov. All right, I can overuse this. Now, I'm going to click on it and review it here. Is it going to open a new window? It did even. Oh, cool, wow. So I believe this challenge, if I remember correctly, was showing how to close a loop all the way around a circular path with the the radius at any given angle being tied to Perlin noise. What's a nice application of that? It looks like making like wobbly little wiggly asteroids thingies in an asteroids game. This is really cool. Look how elaborate this is. So I'm going to make this easy. I'm going to give myself 3 lives, and I'm going to start. The more difficult the level, the smaller number of lives, the more points you get. Controlled by arrows. Press escape to return to the menu. Okay, here we go. Fun. Wow. This is great. Sorry I have to end my live stream now and spend the rest of the day playing this. Wouldn't it be fun to work on a bot, an AI, a little evolutionary algorithm to evolve a strategy for playing this game? Wonderful, wonderful job. Thank you to, I already forgot who this was, Maxim Monikov for this variation on Perlin noise loops. Let's look at one more. Just, I want to be conscientious about the time. I do have some tutorials I want to do today. So let's look at one more. Spin the wheel. Number 3. This original challenge is blobby. Wow, there seem to have a lot of challenges based on blob-like shapes. And it's contributed by Grilly86. Let's take a look and see. Whoa, there we go. So this is nice. So this looks like a pretty exact replica of my challenge, if I remember it correctly. I don't think I had this sort of changing color. So it looks like what's been added here is that the color is changing according to maybe a noise algorithm. But also it looks like there's, what's nice about this is seeing it on CodePen. And actually looking at the code, it looks like there's a bunch of other parameters that are changing and happening. There's like lots more going on. So this is really nice. I mean, this is actually oddly one of my favorite things to visualize. It's just a kind of undulating, gelatinous-like shape. Things that are spongy, that are soft, are quite hard to do with code and very satisfying, I think, to play around with and use. OK. Great job. That ends that segment. See, I have segments now. This is going very well, right? This is going well. How's it going? It's going very well. Thank you. All right. I'm going to close these windows out. People, I am a smart surface. I am a smart surface. People like me. Just, daily affirmation. Nothing's wrong with a little daily affirmation. All right, back over here. So if you're wondering how to submit your own coding train community version, viewer, person submitted, passenger variation on a challenge, go to the website and this is a link to add your own version. And it's a little bit tricky. You have to use the GitHub website. You have to do something called a pull request. But we are here, we, the coding train community, are here to be friendly and welcoming and help you through that process. You can't do it wrong. You can't break anything. And even if you did break something, that would be awesome. If you can figure out how to break the website, that would be fun and a learning experience for all of us. So don't be shy. If you think that your contribution isn't valuable, you're wrong. It is valuable. Please submit it. And I even have a video, I think, that goes through this, like community contribution coding train. If I just Google that, there we go. How to add your contribution to the coding train website. So this video will hopefully give you a little more context. All right. Did I plug my cat Instagram yet today? All right, so here's what we got. I've got a little over an hour, and I'm going to 3 more things. I am going to do a quick tutorial on, what am I saying? I'm going to look at the uNet model in ml5. I'm going to do a daily challenge on brilliant.org, and then I'm going to look at Body Pix in ml5. That's what's happening for the rest of this live stream today. So give me a second here to get set up for the next bit. All right, by the way, I've been seeing this warning/error a lot recently, and I don't know what it is. A cookie associated with a cross-site resource at cloudflare.com was set without the same site attribute. Why is this appearing? Does it have something to do with loading the P5 library from the CDN? Oh, this must be, right? Because that's Cloudflare. No more warning. Huh. So what is this? I don't want to get off track here, but I'm wondering, is this an issue with Cloudflare, with the P5 web editor? Who knows? All right. Somebody can write to me, or I might not see it in the chat right now, but maybe somebody can help me with this in Slack. I see Alka is typing, and I'm almost certain the answer is about to come. But this is not an error that I'm super familiar with. So I want to do this tutorial not in the P5 web editor because I'm not super familiar. I haven't actually, this is a thing that I do, which is I make tutorials of stuff I haven't used before. Just right off the cuff, why not? But I'm not super familiar. I haven't really done a lot of work with this uNet function, so I think debugging it or figuring out what's going on might be a little easier in the browser. You can close the what's new part of the console. I did that. I'm not so sure about the cookie error. Yeah, okay. All right, so one thing I can do at a minimum is I can tell it to not show my warnings. So I'm going to just take this off, and then we won't see the warnings. All right, so what do I need? I want a couple things before I start this tutorial. I want the ML5 website. Close the web editor. I want to reference, sorry, I'm going to spell this wrong, but I'm hoping Google will help me. Yes, Zaid's GitHub and Twitter and website. Al-Yafi. Maybe somebody could help me who's watching. I should have asked Zaid this. Am I pronouncing this within the realm of reasonableness for a silly American that I am? Zaid Al-Yafi. Zaid Al-Yafi. Can somebody help me with this? So while I'm waiting for maybe the chat to help me with pronunciation, Adam asked, uNet, are you going to do some segmentation? Yes. So I am here to demonstrate how to use a pre-trained image segmentation model which has the uNet architecture in the ml5.js library. So this is not a tutorial on the uNet architecture, coding it from scratch with TensorFlow and C++. I'm really just using a very high-level tool to have a pre-trained model and sort of look at image segmentation in ml5.js. Okay. Okay. Let me see if I can. Well, thank you. I got some sort of super chat thing from Christopher Jessup. Thank you. Just want to. Whoa! For a lot of money. Thank you, Christopher Jessup. This is making me feel very awkward, uncomfortable. But I guess I appreciate it. I'll boat train whistle. That is very kind of you. Very much appreciated. It's more like Zaid. So did I get that right, Amr? Zaid? Yes, people are one. All right, do coding challenges. Holy Jessup, I'm reading the chat. I was looking for something here. I was going to make some people moderators, but okay. I did notice. It's just that it takes some time, right? What you don't understand, I mean, sometimes I don't notice, but you just really have to be aware there's quite a significant delay in what you're seeing me versus the real time of the chat. So anything that I respond to in the chat, you won't see it for at least 30 seconds. All right. Okay, Zaid, okay. Okay, here we go. I'm like, do I need to cycle the cameras or are they going to shut off? It's 10:30. I've got an hour here, so I think we're in good shape. And let's go here. All right. Hello and welcome to another tutorial, part of the Beginner's Guide to Machine Learning in JavaScript with ml5.js. So in today's tutorial, I want to talk about a particular I assume you can hear that, yes? I assume you can hear that, yes? I'll just start over. But I almost feel like I want to keep that because it's sort of funny. Hello and welcome to another video as part of the Beginner's Guide to Machine Learning in JavaScript with ml5.js. So in this particular video, I want to look at something called image segmentation. I have a whiteboard. I'm just looking at how well you can see that. So what do I mean by image segmentation? So right now you're looking at an image of me, and there are different parts of the image that we as human beings could dissect or deconstruct. So let me try to do a very poor job of drawing a version of this myself. And maybe there's also sort of this. So I could think of this image as having different segments, different parts. There's my head, there's my body, there is the background, which is maybe a wall, and then there's actually a sort of secondary wall over here. That's the wall to my right, and this is the wall to my left. I could even think of that as another segment. So in this case, I've just decided this video has 4 segments. A, B, C, and D. And in a way, this is ultimately a classification problem. What I'm doing is I'm looking at every single one of these pixels in this image and trying to classify it as one of 4 possible labels. And you could imagine how this could be useful. Maybe you want a computer vision software to be able to find all the pixels that are cars on the road. That are flowers in a garden. There's so many possibilities here. And so this is there are so many possibilities here, and there are a couple functions. What am I trying to say here? Looks like there's a third segment. I don't know what's going on. There are a lot of possible applications of this. So there's a much longer story to how you might collect a data set that is labeled and segmented, train a model to recognize image segmentation, and maybe this is something that I can do a deeper dive into in future videos. But in this video, I want to start with a particular segmentation model that is trained on faces. Is that what it is? Yeah, I think it's face. And really just that's trained on faces and really just differentiates the image into one of 2 categories. It's the foreground or the background. It's the human face or it's not part of the human face. And this is a quick way to do masking or other types of things that you might want to do in an interactive media application. The architecture of this particular model is something called uNet. And uNet, I will include links to more resources about what the uNet architecture is if you want to get lower level with this. But this is a particular machine learning architecture that was designed and invented for medical imaging. So you could imagine how image segmentation could be useful with medical images if you're trying to pull out different parts of the anatomy or recognize certain aspects of the human body. What else do I want to say about this? Wait, there's another super chat? This is crazy. Christopher Jessup. Oh, it just has it twice. Hopefully that's not a mistake. Thank you, Christopher. Please stop. I'm turning like bright red here. All right. Okay. If you're looking for data sets that are available to the public with training data for image segmentation, a very well-known one is called COCO, or Common Objects in Context. Wait, how does that make COCO? Common Objects in Context. Wouldn't that be COIC? Time-wise, where are we? Okay. Common Objects in Context. Oh, context is CO. I got it. I figured it out. The COCO data set are common objects in context. Can you see this? It gets really bright as I get closer here. The white balance is a problem. Oh well. So in the next video, I'm actually going to look at a particular image segmentation model called Body Pix, which you can start to think about as, that must have some similarity with this face uNet model. And this particular model was trained off of the COCO data set. But let me talk to you about the uNet model that's in ML5, the one pre-trained model that's there, and how it was trained, and who trained it, and who contributed this to ML5. Okay. Christopher says it's not a mistake. Mwah, thank you. And I appreciate that it's the last one for today. Okay. All right. So hold on. I just want to. Zaid. The pre-trained model, the pre-trained uNet model that's in ML5 for you to use was trained by a researcher named Zaid Al-Yafai. Let me say that one more time because I feel very awkward about it. The pre-trained model that's available for you to use in ML5 was trained by a researcher named Zaid Al-Yafai. And you can find out more about Zaid. The pre-trained model that's in ML5 that you can experiment with was trained by researcher Zaid Al-Yafai. And Zaid, you can find out more about him from his Twitter page, GitHub, and also a website, and I'll include links to all those in the video's description. I do want to point out here that this particular model was trained from this data set. And I haven't looked in depth at this particular data set. It is a face head segmentation data set. But if you look at these images, you might notice something sort of strange about them. I believe that this is a data set that was created through 3D simulation. And maybe some of you enterprising viewers could look into this more and provide some commentary in the comments, and maybe I can come back in a future video and look at this data set a bit more. But there's always a lot of complicated issues around collecting data of people's faces. And making sure that you have a representative sample. Are you collecting those faces with people's permission? In general, I might say, if you're collecting people's faces, maybe you just shouldn't be doing that. But this is one approach to doing so by, I'm looking at the chat, and the super chat is going off the rails. But here but this is one technique of doing it, because also, even if you get real images, you're going to have to hand label them somehow. But if you're simulating the faces and then creating the segmentation maps, this is the training data. So this was the training data that Zaid used to train that model with the uNet architecture. Let me offer a quick few thank yous here. Oh, those were all Christopher Jessup. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am your trained whistle-blowing person here. And then also thank you to Enrique Lopez. Mwah! Thank you so much. Very kind of you. This really allows me, the support really allows me to allocate more time to doing this, to bring more people into the community, and I hope that I'm doing everything in the best way that I can. All right. Now let's look at the reference for this uNet model in ML5 and try to build a quick example that does the actual image segmentation. Remember, we're not training the model, we're not creating our own image segmentation model, we're just making use of one that somebody else trained and applying it in the browser with the ml5.js library. So first thing I'll do is I'll go here onto reference, and I'm going to look for, I'm going to look for uNet right here. And whoa, this is amazing. So first of all, the website is totally like in active progress of changing and being updated. Oh wait, where am I even? Am I even on the website? Because I went to here, reference. Oh yeah, it's taking me to github.io. This is crazy. It's funny, like I think Joey Lee, who's one of the lead maintainers of ML5.js, has been working on the website quite a bit. It looks completely different than what I'm used to, which I think is fine. This is making it fun. So here I am on the website. I'm going to go down to uNet. Looks like there's a placeholder image right now. Let's quickly go to acknowledgements. Paper. This is like so in progress. It's kind of a little. Can I get to the old website just for the purpose of this video? Let's just see for a second. I think what if I change this to ml5js.org? Force it to do that. Nope, nope, no, that's PRG. All right, I'm gonna live with this right now. And the construction noise, always the construction noise. How am I doing time-wise? Okay, not so bad. Could be worse. Okay. Thank you to Russ Suvitar as well. Mwah. All right, usage. So I'm not going to worry about going into the reference in detail. I'm just going to we'll cut to this when we make the tutorial. Please do a video about, I don't know what that is. I'm going to have to look up what that is. All right. Let me make a pitch to support open source software development. There's lots of wonderful projects out there that could use your support as well as me. Thank you. First thing I want to do is navigate over to the ML5.js webpage, the reference page for the uNet model. Now, it should be clear here, uNet is a machine learning architecture. There's no, what's that? I should be, first thing I want to do is navigate over to the ML5.js website and look for the uNet reference page. So on the reference page, I'll find some information about the background behind this functionality in ML5, as well as sort of like a quick start guide for what the basics of code works, how the code works, and more stuff. So one thing I should be clear here is that uNet is the model architecture. So on its own, it isn't anything, but Zaid trained a model based on faces. So in ML5, to access that pre-trained model, and it's the only one right now. In the future, there might be more that you could put in here. You'll say ml5.uNet face. So let's actually start putting that into our code. So this is what I have so far. I have a P5 sketch that loads the video from the webcam. You can see the green screen here, and it's displaying it here, and then I'm redrawing it into the canvas. So what I ultimately want to do is draw the segmentation here and see the original video here. So I'll go back to the code. A couple things to mention is you've got to make sure you've, in addition to importing the P5 library, you have the ml5 library imported as well. And now I can go over and start to edit sketch.js. So back to the reference page, I want to say this. And most likely, let's just see if this works. I think I want to try to load the model with preload. Let's see if that works. And then let's just try in setup. Let's try console logging the model to see if it's been loaded. Great. So this looks promising. Model ready is true. So again, you can load the model asynchronously with a callback, and there's a variety of different ways of doing it. But the quick way to get started in P5 is to use the preload function to make sure the model is loaded before it starts. So that's awesome. The next thing that I want to do probably is call a function like segment. I want to say, hey, I'm a machine learning model. The input is an image. The output is the segmented version of the image. Right? Here, this video of me is the input. I'm going to feed that into the model. The output is some kind of image map of colors. It's very hard to do these tutorials and handle the super chats at the same time, but I'm so appreciative of the super chats. David Snyder writes, the tuner contribution worked out of the box because I put some extra code to make sure it would. Aha. So there is some, I'd be curious to take a look at that, some extra code to make sure that the audio starts. I know I don't have to super chat, but I wanted to. Thank you. All right. Yes, Simon, I did see your message on the random number generator. Thank you. And also, if I miss the messages, I always go back and look at them later, especially in the Slack, so don't worry too much. OK. Hard for me to catch everything while I'm live streaming. So back to the reference, we can see, there is a function just like I thought called segment. I'm going to give it the input, the video, and then there's going to be a callback when it's done processing that's going to be in the result. So I'm going to lazily just copy all of this. And I'm going to put it here in setup. Yeah, let's try this. Let's see what happens. I'm going to put that in setup. I'm going to take this got_result function and put it up here. I'm going to add the semicolons because I cannot live without semicolons. And let's just see if I get either an error or a result. All right, let's see what happens. This is promising. Looks like I got something. I got a blob with this size that's of type image. I also got an image, and I also got a raw, and I got a tensor. So this is what ml5 does. ml5, anytime you process data through one of its machine learning models, it's going to give you all of the results back in a variety of different formats depending on what it is you might try to do. So here, a clue to what I want to do is the fact that one of these is a p5.image. So for me, I just want to look at the image, I just want to draw it, I just want to see it. But there's also a blob, which is a sort of native JavaScript data for the image. There's also this raw, which is probably just the raw numbers, an array of all the numbers that define that all the pixels, that map of the segments. And then a tensor, which is even lower level. Again, ml5 is built on top of TensorFlow, and a tensor is a basically collection of numbers that TensorFlow.js is managing throughout the machine learning process. So I think if I just here say image result.image, this is going to draw it into the window. I'm going to comment out the draw loop because I don't want to see that right now. And I'm going to hit refresh. So I should see the video down here. Oh, whoops, I have an error. Image was expecting 3 arguments. I need to say where to draw the image. So let's just put it at 0, 0. Try again. I don't see anything. So why don't I see anything? I have a feeling that, first of all, I only asked the segment at once, and I asked it immediately at the start of the program. I know the model was loaded, but was the video ready? So most likely, I think something that's going to be better here is for me to actually use a callback right now with the video. I'm going to say video ready. I'm going to add a function called video ready. And then there, that's when I will call segment. So let's see if that gives me something more useful. So I'm waiting, the video's ready. Oh, it definitely got the results. Don't see anything. So here's my suspicion now. The video is ready, but the very first frame of the video doesn't really have anything in it because it takes a bit for it to warm up. I really have no idea. I think what could be more effective here is for me to continuously call segment, right? Every time I get, maybe what I should have done to demonstrate this was use a static image, not just start with the webcam feed, but that's what I'm doing here. So also I realized this is an interesting webcam feed because you have to remember here, this is not a typical image. Right? What was it trained on? It was trained on, first of all, simulated images of people wandering through a 3D world. And I don't think they were all standing in front of a green screen. So will this even work with me? You would think segmenting in front of a green screen is the easiest thing. You don't need machine learning for that because you can just look at pixel colors. That's what's happening right now. That's how I'm making this video. So much to think about here. All right. I think what I can add here is that once I've got the result, I draw the image. Let me ask to segment again. So I'm just going to copy paste this right here. And this should, in essence, loop it over and over again. Segment the image, get the result, segment it again. Get the result, segment it again. Wow. What have I done wrong? Let's look at the example. Oh, whoops, ah! Let's look at the example. See if this works. Oh! Oh, it's nice that there's a link here, but it doesn't actually go there. Let me try to find the example in the web editor. Does anybody see uNet in here? PoseNet, YOLO. All right, let's take more drastic measures. Oh, here we go. Oh, no? Interesting. All right, let's just, for a quick second here, let's just replace the code with the example. Ah, okay, so it does work. That's a good sign. What did I do wrong? Video height, video size. Oh. Oh, I didn't know I did. This looks very similar. I mean, I'm just drawing in a different place, but what? So video input the right, no, so this is a great question. TMC is asking, is the video input the right size? And ML5, I should address this, but ML5 is handling that. Segmented image. Let me just try doing this in draw. I mean, oh, maybe what comes out is no. what did I do wrong? I'm just like looking at this example, right? Create capture size hide, that doesn't matter. I mean, there's this, but this really shouldn't matter. Like, I don't need to store it. Oh, no? Do I need to copy it? It shouldn't matter. Like, this is exactly what I'm doing. It's just drawing it in a different place. All right, let's... Oh, I'm running out of time here. All right, I don't see how this matters, but let's, oh, wait, no, but I took that out. Yeah. Is there some kind of weird, like, order of operations that, like, drawing inside of this got result is such a problem? Oh, weird. Huh. So why? Why does drawing it, is it actually not ready? Yeah, weird. New member, Ecker. Hello. But I don't have draw, so I can't be drawing over it. Why? Yeah, I mean, I can draw in here, right? Like, what if I say background, this is going to flicker. I'll just do frame, I won't, frame count modulus 255. Oh, no. Oh, but there's no frame count. But, like, I can draw in there. Weird. Honestly, I don't understand. But interestingly enough, it's like the image isn't ready or something. Draw and draw and draw. I mean, drawing and draw is a better practice anyway. So I think I'm just going to have to cop to that. Let me go back to me not having it working. All right, this is where it wasn't working. Oh, whoa. Oh, because I have this. All right, I'm just going to go back to here. This is a bit odd to me, but it seems like I think what's going on here is drawing inside of this got result function is problematic. Ultimately, if I want to draw into the canvas in an animation, using P5's draw loop is the place to do it. I should be able to do it here. Maybe there's something with the image isn't ready to be drawn. I really don't know what's going on, if I'm being perfectly honest. Maybe somebody will reveal it in the comments. But looking at the way the actual ML5 example is written, in I think a more thoughtful way, if I create a separate variable that's like a segmented image, and I just start at the beginning as a blank image. So let me just make a blank image that's the same size of the window. And then what I can do here, instead of trying to draw the image here, I can just set that particular variable, segmented image, equal to result.image. And then what I can do is I can add the draw function. And in draw, just draw that segmented image at 0, 0, and it should already be the correct size of the canvas. So let's see what happens now. I'm going to hit refresh. Oh, there we go. Ah, interesting. So look, so it's there. It looks different though, right? It's a different size than the original image. So first of all, a machine learning model has to have a fixed size set of inputs and a fixed size set of outputs. I mean, there's exceptions to this, but certainly in the case of a kind of traditional model that's expecting images, it's expecting images of a certain resolution, which is probably not 320 by 240. So ML5 is adjusting the resolution of the image before it feeds it into this uNet face model. And then when it comes out, though, it comes out in the sort of default resolution. But I can just, if I want it to match up visually, I can just rescale it when I draw it like this. And now we're seeing that I have the original video here and then the segmented image here. So this doesn't look too thrilling because I have a green screen behind me, but let's see if I can move the webcam to somewhere else in this room and see what happens. Right, you can see, actually, I don't know if I want to, you can see this is my streaming software. Now it's starting to lose track of what's going on, but here it's still working. Now as I get over here, it thinks that's part of my face. So again, what was the training data? What kind of environments was it trained in? How well is it doing that segmentation? But here you can do some basic background removal. Let's just very quickly see if I can replace my background using the uNet model as a starting point. So how would I do that? For example, if I say this, the pixels are actually black. And so how do I make that an alpha channel? I could process the image, right? It's probably in the raw data. There's what did we say was in this thing? There's the blob, there's the image, there's the raw, which is all the pixel information. So I could probably, so I could see, that's wherever there's black, I can make that the alpha. So one way of doing that would be to make the alpha channel of the image, but is there there's a mask function in P5. Just bear with me for a second. Can I? Well, maybe I don't want to go down this road. Additive blending would ignore black. Yeah, I think I'm kind of running out of time here. I want to do Body Pix and I want to do the Brilliant Challenge. I do have. I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to think if there's a smarter way to do this. Let's look at the reference. There's a mask function, I thought. Yeah. Photo mask image. So I should be able to use it as a mask. I'm just curious, what if I create, just give me a second here. Let's draw. Just out of curiosity here. So that's good. And then I will explain what I'm doing in a second. Okay, that's a good sign. Oh no, it's not a good sign. Photo, mask, source image. Mask part of an image from displaying by loading another. Oh, it uses the alpha channel as an alpha channel for this image. Okay, I'm gonna have to process the pixels. I'm gonna have to process the pixels. I mean, I think maybe I don't want to get into this right now because I'm gonna move on. But I think what I could do here is I could, maybe I'll come back in a separate video and do something about that, or think about how that would be useful. There really should be, I think it should probably give you the image, not with, I think ML5 should actually probably change this. It should probably put the, set the alpha value to 0. So I'm actually going to do this. Let me do this real quick. So let me show you what I mean. Let me just go back to what I had before and get rid of this other stuff. Oops. One of the things you first might want to do with this, I think I just said this, but whatever. One of the things you first might want to do with this is then actually like replace the background behind you. So for example, I could load a nice beach scene or something, but just to simulate that, let me put blue behind me. So in other words, if I said background 0, 0, 0, 255, I should see myself right now in front of this blue background. But I don't. So what ML5 has actually returned to me is an image segmented, but the background pixels are colored black rather than having their transparency, for example, set to 0. So I'm not sure. Maybe this should be something that ML5 actually offers, and maybe by the time you watch this, this will have changed. But for right now, I could at least iterate over the pixels, and anytime there's a pixel that with color 0, 0, 0, I could set its alpha down to 0. And there might be some fancier way to do this with like a blend mode or something, but let me just see if I can process the pixels this way. I'm going to do this quickly. Right here, what I'm going to do I'm going to look right here where I am receiving that segmented image. I am going to loop over, and I'm going to do a nested loop, I think. Actually, no, I don't need to. All right. Got it. I'm going to look right here where I'm receiving that segmented image, and I'm going to iterate over all the pixels. So I'm going to use a for loop to go over segmented image.pixels.length I++. Oh, I'm going to say I plus equals 4 because in P5.js, the array of pixels, there are 4 spots in the array for every single pixel, R, G, B, A. So I can say the R value is segmented image pixels index I. I'm going to use a +0 here. You'll see why in a second. That's the red value. That's the G. The G value is +1. The B value is +2. They're all right next to each other, RGB. Then the alpha value is what I want to set. So I'm going to say if R equals 0 and G equals 0, can I do this? And B equals 0. Is it going to let me do that? Then I want to say images pixels I +3. I'm just going to set the alpha down to 0. And I should probably say segmented image load pixels, segmented image update pixels. And let's see what happens. I'm going to hit refresh. I have the blue background. I'm going to see myself. No! Oh, what did I get wrong? Oh, no, update pixels. Let's see. This is going to make the console go crazy. Just one. Whoops. That's weird. Oh, not I. Yeah, no I. Let me get rid of this console log. It's only getting that for the 0 pixel. All the other pixels are this is an awful thing I'm about to do because it's going to spit out a zillion things, but let's just see what happens. It's only... Oh, look at this. This is like a bug. I'm like discovering a really weird bug in ML5 or something, which is that the image is not available yet. It doesn't have any pixels. Like, that's why I couldn't draw it here. It's like not actually ready. This is so weird. This is what happens on the coding train. I think I'm going to do this like very simple tutorial, and it all goes wrong. But watch this. I have a feeling now. I might have to come back and redo this or like fill in the gap on Thursday this week if I do it. Like I have a feeling if I do it here in draw. Ooh boy, see there we go. Now I've already done a horrible thing. Oh, I've killed. Stop, go away, browser. I did what I didn't want to do, which is I put a for loop in the, I put a console log inside my pixel for loop, which is like the worst thing ever. Just please stop. Get to the end. Get to the end. Close. Can I? Oh, there's like a task manager, right? Task manager. Can I get? Which tab is this? It's got to be this one. End process. There we go. No, it's still printing? Oh, I didn't comment it out. Task manager. There we go. And friends don't let friends put a console log in a for loop of pixels. There we go. Weird. So unbelievably weird. Okay. I might have to like figure out why this is happening, but or this tutorial is just going to be, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to do this again, but I'll just do it in draw and I will ignore. I'm going to do this little bit again, everybody. Please bear with me, as you always do. one of the first things you're probably thinking of to do is, oh, I could now replace the background to something else. I could put myself in a lovely beach scene or with a garden of flowers behind me instead of just this green wall or whatever happens to be the actual background. So to do that, you might think, okay, let me just replace it with blue just as a test. I'm going to say background 0, 0, 255. I'm going to hit refresh. This looks good. I've got blue. I've got the image, and now it's still black pixels, not blue. So the kind of image that's actually being returned into that segmented image doesn't have any transparency to it. The pixels that are part of the background are classified as background, essentially, and then given the color of RGB000. So maybe there's a different way that ML5, maybe there's a way I could use it as an alpha mask or some kind of blend mode. I leave that to the comments to give me some excellent suggestions about how to think of this in a better way. But what I'm going to do right now is just manually process the pixels. So for example, here in Draw, I can just say segmented image load pixels. Then I'm going to also say segmented image update pixels. And what I'll do is I'm going to do a for loop. I'm going to start at 0. I'm going to go all the way to segmented image pixels.length. And then what do I want to do? I'm going to look at the red value, which is segmented pixels index I. Wait, so one thing I forgot is in P5.js or in JavaScript, if you're looking at an image, the pixel array has 4 spots for every pixel: red, green, blue, alpha, in that order. So red is pixels plus 0, and this should actually go up by 4 for every pixel. G, red, green, blue, plus 1 for green, plus 2 for blue. And then when I want to set the alpha, I can say if R equals 0 and G is 0 and B is 0. This is probably a more elegant way of doing that. I can say I can set the alpha value to 0. So let's see what happens now. If I hit refresh, I have the blue background, I have the segmented image, and I have, there we go, me in front of a blue background. Woohoo! I could do some other things here, like for example, if I wanted to just make this more of a silhouette, now I have the opportunity of saying something like, I could actually replace all of these. Do this quickly. Something like this. And now I'm going to see myself here and just kind of a silhouette version of myself up here. And there's some flickering going on. Again, I think I've got more to think about this. Maybe I need to come back with a follow-up video. There's some weirdness going on with the fact that I'm getting the segmented image in this got result callback and then manipulating it and drawing it in the draw loop. And the order of how those things happen could it appears to be maybe causing some issues here. So thank you for watching this. Give the uNet pre-trained face model a try. Make something with it. And be on the lookout for a pinned comment or a follow-up video that maybe irons out some of these little issues with cleaning up this order of operations in this program. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye. Yeah, so Copper France is asking, does this work without a green background? This is pretty unfortunate that I am doing this with a green background because it gives the illusion of doing some kind of chroma keying effect, which I could easily do just with pixel manipulation. But yeah. All right, so choo-choo to the chat. I'm going to close some stuff out here, and I want to say thank you to the Coding Train's live stream sponsor, Brilliant.org. Unfortunately, I'm fired here instantly, but I'll put this in the chat. You should go to brilliant.org/codingtrain. No the. Okay, so I'm going to take that off the screen since it's incorrect, and I am going to go talk to you about Brilliant.org. So I mentioned earlier that one of the things that I'm doing now is I'm doing coding challenges from a new secret location, soon to be launched on the Coding Train. Video coming out hopefully later this week. preview to members. And one of the ways that I come up with ideas and keep my mind fresh and continue learning for new coding challenges that I want to work on or things that I want to teach in my classes is by the internet. And I read lots of different articles and books and things, but one of the websites that I've been using recently is brilliant.org, thanks to their sponsorship of the Coding Train. And brilliant.org is a lifelong learning website where you can find daily challenges, you can find full courses, which are pretty cool. I've done some segments where I looked at some of these courses. I want to do a deeper dive into maybe the artificial neural networks course, which has a lot of content aligned with things that I'm doing here on this channel. But you can get started for free just by going to brilliant.org/codingtrain. You can also unlock all of the features of brilliant.org, all of the different courses and things through a premium subscription. And the first 200 people to sign up get a 20% discount. Again, that's brilliant.org/codingtrain, no the. Maybe the also works. I'm sure they could fix that, but it's without the, and I will fix that the next time I put this banner up. So let's go do what I actually looked earlier this morning. I didn't quickly, and I noticed this arithmetic with waves, and I thought this could be a fun challenge for us to do together here. And me, I am so me is giving me a message in the chat about this sort of like load pixels behavior. I'm going to come back and look at that in a second. So this arithmetic with waves it looks like a fun one to try. So let's look at this. So here's the question. So first of all, I have, if you want to know more about wave patterns and oscillation with code, you can go to my Nature of Code book. If I go here under oscillation and search for wave, you can see that I already have some code examples that create patterns like this. So this probably looks very similar to what you're seeing right here, undulating sine wave. And one of the things I also demonstrate in the book, and I could come back and I think I've done videos on this, is what happens when you add waves together. And if I keep going down, there we go. So more complex waves can be produced by the values of multiple waves together. So this is just summing different waveforms to get this pattern that has a more chaotic or random feel to it. It's not at all. It's a periodic repeating pattern, but by summing the different waves, you can get something that has this kind of quality to it. So if we look here, let's see if we can figure this out. So this is the pattern. Which pair of wave functions can be added to get the graph above? A and B, A and C, or B and C? I would suspect not A and B, right? This definitely looks to me like there are two, like actually no, these A and B have the same period, right? Period or frequency is the number of time, period being the amount of time for one full cycle. Frequency being the amount of cycles per unit of time. Amplitude, it looks like they all have the same amplitude being the height of the wave. Oh, and Simon is telling me there's a second course on neural networks coming soon on Brilliant. Simon, who I know has been, should really be here talking about Brilliant, because I know that Simon makes a lot of excellent use of the Brilliant website. All right, so looking at these two, I wonder if I could quickly modify my Nature of Code example. We'll try that. I just wanted to see if we can get an intuitive sense. You know what? I have an idea. I have an idea here, which is that this does cross 0. So if I'm adding waves together and the waves added together get a 0, the sum is a 0, I either have to have that part of the wave be above and below the line at the same height, right? I have to add a +2 and a -2 to get, well, not with the sign, a 0.5 and a -0.5, or both waves have to be 0. So if this is kind of where the 0 is, like anywhere if I pick here and I go down, so this A is not 0 there. Oh, B is 0 there. Oh, C, okay, it's got to be B and C. I think that's a quick way of doing it. It's got to be B and C. Let me just give it a minute if anybody, easy, just look at the center point. That's another good way of doing it. The center point is kind of like halfway to the amplitude, the bottom limit. So A is 0, B is at the bottom, and C is 0. So it could be It could be A and B. That tells us it could be A and B or B and C. That doesn't give us the answer. But I believe it has to be B and C. Let's just see if I'm right. Any other suggestions from the chat? Everybody's saying B and C. Everybody in the chat, this is like phone a friend. This is a nice, by the way, here's another way you can do your challenges on brilliant.org. Just live stream and have people watching it. Let me click B and C. Let me hit submit. And correct. I got a 1-day streak. I should really do these every day, not just the days that I'm live streaming. Somebody tweet at me tomorrow or write a YouTube comment or something. I'm way behind on reviewing YouTube comments. One of the things actually that YouTube has now is you can filter the comments by members, so I can see any members that commented, so that I look at it that way, but also by subscribers, so I can see who's subscribed. So if you want me to look at your comment, you can subscribe. Oh, this is awful. I don't want to be pitching for just subscribe if you like the content and want to get notifications, or don't subscribe. It's totally fine. I actually look at all the comments to the best that I can. Never mind. Scratch all that. All right, let's see. Let me see if I can get a nice simulation of this. I think if I go to editor, p5js.org, nature of code, sketches. Am I going to be able to, let's look for a wave. Wave ABC, additive wave. So this is additive wave. So this is the example. Let's say what I don't, let's like cancel the incrementation of the wave. There we go. Oh, but it's doing it randomly. So, but anyway, you get the idea. As Alka's going to make a Slack bot. Should I be using Discord instead of Slack? Well, let's discuss this at some point. It's 11:30. I'm not going to get to Body Pix today, it doesn't seem. I wonder if I could do that really quickly with all that Mashugana stuff I did with uNet. Might allow me to just quickly, in like 15 minutes, make a Body Pix tutorial. S Repudiation writes, I'll be applying to NYU this application season. I was going to study straight math, but your courses have inspired me to branch out and find practical ways to express my mathematics. That's lovely. Yeah, so I encourage, if somebody wants to try to make a version of this, I encourage you. So this is what, I'm going to take a short break. I'm going to try to look at Body Pix, at least really quickly. I'm going to take a short break. I'm going to encourage you all to go sign up, if you haven't already, at brilliant.org/codingtrain, while you do that, see if you can get my additive wave code, or see if you can write a quick P5 sketch to create these waves and add them together, and see if you can like prove this result. Oh, let's see. Staff writes, okay, so this looks like is where the graphs have zeros. Oh yeah, so actually you could look at the center because, yeah. Oh, and look at it here. Yeah, so this looks like it's the same solution that I did. And then, ooh, this is nice. This is what I wanted to create in P5.js. So you could create that. Ah, yeah. So this is Alka. What you're saying to me is like music to my ears. Bing, 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 bing. If YouTube membership and Discord integrate, I should really move from Slack, I think. But let's come back to that. And there's lots of excellent suggestions. So you write a comment here with you got 5 minutes to do this. I'm going to go to the wallpaper. Actually, I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to remove myself. How do I do this? Me. I'm no longer there. I'm going to mute my microphone. I'm going to play you some music. This song is about 5 minutes long. I'll be back in 5 minutes. If you can create a P5 sketch that solves this, or a processing sketch, share it in the YouTube chat or share it on Brilliant, and I will take a look at it. As always, I always forget the this dot, this dot, this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this dot, this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do dot, this dot, this dot, this dot, this dot song. This dot, this dot, this dot. Never forget this dot, this dot, this dot, this dot, this dot song. This dot, this dot, this dot. Never forget this dot, this dot, this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this dot, this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do dot, this dot, this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this dot, this dot, this dot. I'm gonna do this. Hi everybody, I'm not back yet, but if you give me like an extra 2 or 3 minutes, then I think I can try to do the Body Pix thing. So it's still going to be a little longer than 5 minutes, but I'll be back in just a few minutes, okay? This dot, this dot, this dot. Never forget this dot. I'm going to do the this dot, this dot, this dot, this dot, the this dot song. Never forget the this dot. Somebody compose that song for me. I'm going to say once again, here we go, sing it with me. It's the polar to Cartesian coordinate song. It's the polar to Cartesian coordinate song. Auto-tune and the internet will fix that for me. Sing it with me. It's the polar to Cartesian coordinate song. All right, I am back. I don't have a lot of time, a little overtime, but I saw that there were some nice comments about this particular Brilliant.org daily challenge, where I believe this is, I have to scroll back during the chat. It's someone, I'm going to try to get the right credit here. There's so many chat messages, oh my goodness. Too many chat messages, I can't find it. Someone will help me with this. But this figured out that this looks like sine of 2x, and this is a negative cosine of x. So if you, by knowing what the actual functions are that are drawing these graphs, you could then visualize those, add those two things together. Actually, we could make this happen super fast. I know I said I was going to do Body Pix, but I just got to, let's come back to me here. Okay, yes, leave this page. Leave this page. Wave. I just want to look at the simple wave. Exercise, graph wave, and wave, this one, right? This, okay, stop. So I think this is something I can adjust. So let's look at this. Start angle, forget about start angle. Angle is just always going to be 0. And I want to draw map sine of the angle, angle velocity. Oh, I've done some ridiculous thing. So I'm going to simplify this. Angle is just going to be angle equals map x, which goes between 0 and width, to between 0 and 2 pi times 4. So I want to get 4 cycles through the wave. And that's, I'm going to need something wider. Can I get some more space here? Let's make this, let's give me some more space here. How wide is this actually? Oh, okay, I know I'm standing in front of the code. Let me just remove myself for a second. That's good. Let's make it much less high. Let's say, and let's actually have this go between 50 and 150. There we go. That looks more like what we're looking for. Let's say begin shape. And I can bring myself back into this picture. Begin shape, end shape, stroke 255, no fill. We can say sine of, what am I looking to do? Right, vertex. Get rid of this. Stroke, there we go. All right, so there, and let's give ourselves a lot more points to work with. There we go. So this is sine of x, basically. Sine of x. So if I were to do this, here's sine of x. When we said cosine of x, then sine of 2 times angle. So these are both of the graph. Those are both. And then let's do one that's those two things added together. And cosine, and again, this is like a sort of awful way that I'm doing this, but I think it's going to demonstrate the idea. Let's run this, and let's comment out the first two. See, does that look like the picture that is in the Brilliant Challenge? It does. It kind of looks like it's in reverse, right? No, I'm just, yeah. I wonder if, because it's because the y-axis is flipped in a computer graphics system. So I should really make all of these, I should really just make this 1 to -1 to invert that. And there we go. So we have solved this particular Brilliant Challenge. I am going to save this. I like to go here. I don't know if anybody posted an answer. Let's write, here is some P5.js code to demonstrate adding two waves together. Let's put in a link. Source code. Let's do this. Let's do a quick take a screenshot of this and add it in. This is fun. Okay. Here we go. Come on, drag and drop, people. Oh yeah, that's what I'm doing. Oops, there we go. All right, so if you've made something, please you comment here or all that stuff. And thank you so much again to Brilliant.org for the sponsorship of the coding train. Now, very little time left. But with the little time I have left, I am going to go to reference, BodyPix. Whoa, oh my goodness. Oh, look at this. There's a lot more to BodyPix. You know what, I'm gonna come back and do a video on BodyPix next time. Let's just test out the idea. I'm just gonna do this with you in the live context and not worry about the sort of like published tutorial, because I do wanna spend some more time talking about BodyPix. And I think if I look up, we're gonna see, this is an excellent post to reference by Dan Oved, who is a graduate student and researcher at ITP, and there are other people credited here who have helped with this particular post. But this is a post that describes the BodyPix model, which does something quite similar to what the uNet face model does, but gives you a map of the body with colors assigned to different parts of the body. So let's just see if I can get this to work. If I duplicate my uNet, and I'll kind of like, this is going to just be practice. Maybe I will later this week pick back up with this. But I have to, I said 11:30 because I knew I had to leave by 12. So let's see what I get here. Let's see here if I can. Let's load up this. So this is uNet. I'm just curious, what happens if I literally all that I do is just change this to ml5 BodyPix. I think there's a bug where BodyPix doesn't work with preload, but let's confirm that. So BodyPix model ready. So in theory, I should be able to just do BodyPix here, and everything should be the same. Right? It's the same exact algorithm for segmenting images. I'm going to take out this pixel processing thing. And otherwise, everything should be the same. That's BodyPix. BodyPix, let's just see. BodyPix.segment is not a function. ml5 BodyPix. So I think it doesn't work with preload. Let's comment it out. This really shouldn't be up here. I mean, the order doesn't actually matter for how it works, but this is very confusing to me. So let's say BodyPix equals ml5 BodyPix. And then I'm going to have model ready and function model when the model has loaded. Let's try calling segment here. Let's say the model is ready. So let's see what happens here. If you want to classify a video, pass the video element into the constructor. Let's try sequencing this. When the video is ready, let's load the model. And then when the model is ready, let's call segment. And let's look at them. I'm glad I'm looking at this now. So I see it wants me, this is revealing a problem, which is that we're inconsistent, it seems. This wants me to actually include the video to sort of assign Body Pix to that video, which probably has some advantages, but shouldn't be required. But it's probably only going to work that way. And then I would do this without passing it the video specifically. Whoops. Okay. Image was expecting P5 image. What failed? Let's look at the result. Let's not even draw anything. So this is it. We're sort of debugging. This is good for me. Okay. So this is getting more stuff. I'm getting mask background, mask person. Oh, there is. So the properties that come back actually have different names, which is fine. Mask background, mask person. So this actually makes more sense in some ways, in that there are these masks that are coming back. So let's take a look at what these look like. What was one? Mask background. Mask background. Let's try that. Interesting. So you can see it's giving me a solid color background. Remember, blue is what I'm drawing behind. So there's an alpha mask where it detects me as the person. And it's giving it all as one color. So if I change mask this to mask person, I was expecting different colors. Did I not hit save? So how does this particular example, how do I get this is what I want. Do I have to give it the palette? Like if I don't give it the palette? So I'm going to investigate this further. I'm hoping to come back Thursday morning this week. Friday, unfortunately, doesn't seem like it's a good day for me this semester, but I'll come back Thursday or Friday to continue this. But let's just try to get a little bit further just to see, and maybe those of you watching can investigate this and file some issues on ML5 so that we can kind of work on this. So where do I create them? Let me do this. So I'm just going to copy all of these options over. I'm going to say let options equal, and then I'm going to put in the options here. Let's see what happens. Mask background, that's mask person. Is it only in the raw data? Is that where I have to like get all the colors from the raw data? Something is definitely, I'm either missing something or mask background. Let's try that again. These also seem like the same thing, right? There's no difference here. Oh no, it's inverted. Huh. Let's look at ML5 examples and see if, oops, sorry, ML5 medical examination is not what I want. Let's go here. ml5.js, Body Pix. Do we see it? Body Pix, image web. Oh, Body Pix parts. That's what I was missing. Yeah, look, something is different in the version. This is the release branch. Yeah, that's the release branch. Oh, what am I doing wrong? And this stuff just worked. Like I'm like writing the examples in a output stride segmentation threshold. Body Pix video. Create HSB palette. Okay. That's a function. Video segmentation image. So, oh, there's a segment with parts function. So that's my problem. And then this is like making a palette, but I can just use the default palette or set the colors. So let me go back. Oh my God. Let me go back to my example. I didn't realize it was a separate. Read the manual. I think is probably a video model segment with parts. Yes, segment with parts. I'm tired. It's been 2 hours. Let me run this now. Now you see this. This was my version of it. And now there's actually an image. So this is image is what comes through here. Wow. Mask back. I definitely want to make the APIs with uNet and BodyPix more consistent. If someone wants to open a GitHub issue to discuss the naming and sort of style inconsistencies between these two models, that would be super helpful. And now I can say result image. Because from uNet, I think you want the mask, right? And what just happened here? Cannot read with the property undefined. So, okay, let me get rid of these options for a second. Just use the defaults. So I create the video. When the video is ready, I create the BodyPix model. I load the BodyPix model, tie it to the video. When the model is ready, I call segment with parts. Then I get the results. I set that to a variable, call it again, and then draw that segmented image. And it would be actually interesting to draw it on top of the video. Just sort of curious what happens there. And let's see what happens. There we go. And now if I wanted to, what I could do is I could also get the mask, could do some kind of masking, but maybe if I just actually give it a little alpha right now. I can sort of see, ooh, I need to say no tint here. This is what I'm going for. I can kind of see, and I want to make it much more clear. There. So now we can sort of see what BodyPix is doing. And in theory, if I could get myself further from the camera, you could see maybe more body parts. Great. All right, so hopefully this was helpful to you. This was me sort of like figuring this out. I'm going to come back on Thursday and maybe do any addendums to the content, the video tutorial that I hope to have edited together about the uNet model, as well as cover this BodyPix model a bit more. So thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this live stream. I sort of hit a wall like about 5 minutes ago. I feel like maybe there's like a blood sugar thing going on. I need to go eat some lunch. Also, I feel like I got something in my eye. But I'm gonna take a break. I've got a lot to do for the rest of the day and tomorrow. And I will hopefully be back. I can't make any 100% promises. But I'm hoping to be back either Thursday or Friday this week, if not next week. And be on the lookout. I know I keep teasing this. Maybe nobody's going to like it. I have no idea. But I recorded a video from a different location, not in this room. I'm not going to say anything more about it. I look forward to seeing you next time on the coding train. Let's see if I can answer a couple questions. Why not make a logarithmic frequency analyzer on P5.js, asks Andre. Yes, great question. That I would encourage you to do so. That might be a more accurate and effective way of actually making a tuner. I was just kind of curious to go through the different pre-trained models that are in the ml5 library. The live stream, it's always at this time, asks Felipe. I wish. So there was a brief moment in time last year where I had a consistent every Wednesday at 10 a.m. live stream, 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm in the Eastern time zone. I'm in New York City. I'm in Brooklyn, actually. Brooklyn, New York. But I haven't figured that out yet for this year. So soon I hope to establish that. But at the moment, your best way to find out when the next live stream is unfortunately, or fortunately, subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell thing, because when I schedule it, you'll get a notification. But I do expect, I can tell you this week that if there is another live stream this week, the only two times I'm available to do so right now are Thursday morning around 10 a.m. Eastern, or Friday morning around 9 or 10 a.m. Eastern. So one might be scheduled for those two times. I would probably add it the night before or the morning of. What's the fastest JavaScript engine on the Mac? No idea. Somebody else will have to answer that. Make a tutorial how to make a bar graph spectrum with logarithmic frequency scale in P5 Sound. I'm pretty sure I have that. P5 Sound. FFT. This video right here on the coding train 1711. Hello. I'm pretty sure somewhere in this video I do something like that. Between them. Here. Yeah, there you go. So I think if you check out this video where I am very red, or am I just very pale here, I'm not sure, you'll find that. Rendering 3D ray marching. Yeah, I have a lot of coding challenges that I want to have, a long list. Marching squares is kind of on the top of that list. Oh, this is so important that you're asking. So remember I spun the wheel? I'm not spinning the wheel. Still got to work out this wheel system. Nekmo asked, will you do the Collatz conjecture coding challenge like the wheel said last Friday? Here's the thing. I already did it. But this is what I'm talking about with this other video series, so it's going to come out soon. The first one this week is not the Collatz conjecture. I don't want to spoil too much, but I did it. It will be coming out. If I had to guess right now, that's one's probably going to be next week. So I'm hoping to have a coding challenge once a week or once every 2 weeks with a slightly different format. Will you ever have Joshua Davis as a guest? Great idea for a guest. Right now I'm not up and running to have guests. When I can get back up and running to have guests, Joshua Davis would be a great guest. Heartbeats and sound. Get octave bands and log averages. Yeah, those are all great ideas. Limited time in the world. Oh wait, Alka made a brilliant thing. Let's go codepen.io/Alka. Am I going to find it here? Like recent showcase? All right, I'm just going to lazily type in pen/QBBEZ RW. Everyone should check out Coding Train Viewer, Alka's CodePen. There's lots of great examples there. QBB capital E. There we go. Oh, this is much nicer. This is much better. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. Oh, I'm no longer in my Goodbye Rainbow song. I'll just speed over to the end here. So thank you, everybody. I will leave the wallpaper slide up for a few minutes so the chat can keep going, but I'm going to say goodbye now. I'm going to thank you, thank you to everyone who supports me or even just watches, or like to the person who said hello to me on 4th Avenue in Brooklyn yesterday. I doubt you're watching, but somebody came up to me and said, "Hey, Coding Train!" And I said, "That's me!" And that was like a wonderful part of my day. So Christopher Jessup for your super chats, all the other super chats, the members, the viewers, the people who help operate the New York City transit system that got me here this morning. I want to thank everyone. Goodbye.